Hi everyone, thank you for viewing us. So do us a favor, click that big red button down there that says subscribe. When you subscribe, it's totally free to you. Not only is it totally free, but you'll get a notification each Monday when we post new interviews, new insight, and new information. We hope you are enjoying what you're viewing thus far. Please tell your friends about us, tell your family members, your church members. Hey, find a stranger in the street, tell them about it too. We want to take this message to the world. Have a good day, and thank you for watching Alabaster Spy.
Thank you for tuning into Alabaster Sparks with Tiffany Hayes, where we are inspiring and enriching thoughts. So she is back, guys, Miss Chambers. And this segment, with all that she does, I thought, hey, let's put her on the Unsung Heroes segment, because you do so much for the community that you're around and that you're in. And we just want to glean from you and just hear your feedback and your wisdom. So the first question I have for you is, I know you shared this on the last segment, but let me just ask you again so we're all clear. How long have you been a counselor?
I have been a counselor since 1989. That's about 29 years. Before that, I taught for 9 years as a special education teacher, all in the same community.
Yeah.
My claim to fame is I've been on that dirt for 38 years, because there used to be another school in the same site. They demolished it in 94. We went to another building for 1 year and then came back in 1995 as Thurgood Marshall.
Wow. Really?
So,
I didn't know it was another school there.
Yes. Park Elementary School was there for 50 years.
Wow, 50 years.
Yes.
And so you've been there for 38 years.
38 years on
wow.
that dirt.
So what called you to that school?
Well, God. It had to be him. My husband was in the military, and he had gotten out of the military, and I was a sub. Once I graduated, I had not worked because we were traveling. And so I came home and I started a long-term sub position at one school, and that ended that was from August to September. To November. They called me and asked me, would I take another long-term sub position, because I thought that was going to be my last day, and I started the very next day. It was in 1980 at Park Elementary School. The teacher had become ill. Then I worked from November to December. They asked me would I take the job permanently.
Wow.
And so I said yes, of course, because at the time I had no permanent job, just subbing. And that was what put me in that location. It was God's calling to, I had never even known that there was a school there. So it wasn't like something I found.
Yeah.
It found me.
Absolutely. Isn't it interesting how God just makes all of these things straight?
Yes.
As long as we are like just following him,
Yes.
everything just lays right on out.
He does. He
Absolutely. So it sounds like you find your position there very rewarding.
Very much so.
How so?
Well, it is rewarding because I see growth, I see need, and God uses me to supply or network to find a solution. Sometimes I call myself his elf. I'm all over the place trying to find something. I'm in everybody's business because if they have a need. And unfortunately and fortunately, a lot of times people think I have answers that I don't have. They come to me to fix things, to find solutions. And so it is rewarding. It feels good to know that somebody has a solution. I can't fix everything. That's the hardest thing for me. I have to take a moment. Sometimes there are some things I can't fix, and it's not my job to fix anything.
Right.
But God finds the solution, and it keeps me busy trying to be His hands or legs or note taker to help people, and it feels good. It really does. I get much more than I could ever give.
Absolutely. So for that mom or dad or parent that has a child who is exhibiting different behavior issues or emotional detachment issues or what have you, what in your 38 years of being on that site, what have you seen? Just a couple, because I'm sure it's a lot. But what have you seen on that site that you can help them to deal with it? Because I think as parents, sometimes we want our children to just get it,
Yes.
Not actually remember that it took us a while to get
We forget.
to get it. So so then frustration sets in,
Yes.
and we take that off on our children instead of, God help me with this, because you're still working with me. So what are some tools that you can share with them to help?
What I try to do with a lot of our parents, I'm blessed in that I've been there a long time, and a lot of our parents are former students, and so they are willing listeners. But I try to get our parents to understand, like you said, were you like this all the time? You're asking the child to think like an adult. And it is frustrating. I work with our teachers and try to get them to understand somewhere you have a child in a school. Are you treating that child the way you want someone to treat your child? I try to work with a child to get them to understand. Don't act. My biggest thing is stop. When you feel yourself frustrating, stop. I have some kids that we are working with one of the techniques. I give them a thick rubber band, and when they feel themselves losing control, just sit there gently, bring yourself back by popping the rubber band, and take a minute. I have some of the classes that I have asked the teachers, give your child an island. If you know they have emotional problems or they have behavior problems or some of them, the big thing now is having an attention deficit or hyperactive, have that island. Let them be in charge of walking away to the island, taking a minute, pop the rubber band, read a book, count to 10, whatever strategies we have been working on, and then come back. Sometimes pointing a finger or making a punitive correction carries it. And I stress to the kids, you have bad minutes, not bad days. So if
That's
something
good.
happened at 8 o'clock in the morning, then you have till 8:01 to solve it. Talk about it, relax, and move on. Your whole day does not have to be canceled because you got in trouble in the cafeteria or somebody called your name on the bus. And in one of my lessons we actually count out 60 seconds. And they see, boy, that's a long time.
Right.
Yes, it is. It's just long enough for you to get over it. And then move on with your day.
I like that. I like that. We don't have bad days. We have bad minutes.
Bad minutes.
Wow. So where did you get the popping the rubber band technique? You researched it and you saw it somewhere?
Maybe.
Back
when I started, we could not Google. We did not have reason. It's like whatever worked. Some of my older students come back because we were doing multiplication raps in my special ed class that I made up
multiplication
on that.
So Miss Chambers is a rapper too?
Well, because they learn through song more so than through reading in the book. So we would record it and all. And now they have. I didn't record it. Somebody else thought of it and recorded it. And my old students said, Miss Chambers, we did that. We should have made money off of that.
Oh, my.
So a lot of things is.
Wow.
Through special ed, I learned to individualize. So I look at little Chucky or Carol or whatever and see how they learned. The same thing with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get upset about the same thing that I get upset about. So I see how you handle your upset, and I try to come up with something. I don't give all of them the rubber band, because some of them will use it as
Or fling it.
but I know my kids. So we come up with things and techniques. The rubber band is one, the island for another, counting, or some of our kids go to church, and I do not pray with them, but I ask them, what do you do? Some of them say, I have to pray. I have to ask God. I can't tell them to ask God, but if they say they want to, I say, have your way. Do what you think. When you go into quiet time, it's up to you what you say to yourself.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's not a one size fits all.
No.
It is a unique, special made, handcrafted, this is what works for you, so this is what we're going to do. That also sounds like you have to have a lot of patience.
Oh, yes.
As well. Let me ask you this. Do you teach parents? Do you have any parenting classes?
We do parenting groups sometimes, and this year we had Parent Connection, and we brought in different agencies because a lot of our parents work minimum wage jobs, and they have life issues that they could benefit from networking in the community, and they don't know. So we brought those networking situations to them. So we had Connection Night, and we invited someone from Famous Insurance. We had somebody from King's Daughters. We had several. We even had a guy from the gang unit, because some communities now, we want to get caught up in our community, but gangs are in all communities. So there was a gentleman talking to the parents about that. Then I had a group of volunteers to work with the kids, so that they could the parents were free to enjoy that. So we do something with the parents.
That's good, because I'm thinking, we can talk to the children, but when the children go home, they have to listen to their parents. So it sounds like you guys are, what you're doing is you're connecting. We're talking to your children, but we're also talking to the parents. So we're enforcing good behavior. We're enforcing emotional health. We're enforcing all of these different things that I guess just develops just a human being.
Yes.
And one thing that I don't particularly care for, and that's just the polite way of saying I can't stand it, is labels that we put on our children to say, oh, this person has this person has that. But sometimes it's just a simple, let's sort through emotionally what's happening so that we can understand it.
Yes.
Fix that, and then you can go on.
Keep
instead of putting a label on them. And because what I think happens is that they look at the label and start acting out what the definition of that label is.
And that does happen. I've seen that quite a bit. Instead of us getting caught up in the label, let's look at and find sources to change the behavior.
Absolutely.
The person is not a bad person. They may have had a bad behavior. So show them strategies and techniques so they don't keep repeating that behavior. That's where you get stuck with the label. When you can't stop the continued misbehavior.
Yeah. So guys, you see why she's on this Unsung Heroes, right? She is amazing, and like we shared last time, you're on Facebook. So it is it Miss Chambers, or is it?
My first name is Avelyn.
Avelyn Chambers. Okay. Guys, find her. She does a lot of different things in the community, the parenting classes. We can all be great parents, but we can be greater with those who actually have experienced different years that we haven't yet. So let's not be unteachable, but the person that goes the furthest is the one that takes the information and always teachable. So thank you so much for coming on the show, Miss Chambers.
Thank you so much.
It's just so awesome. And thank you guys for tuning into Alabaster's Box with Tiffany Hayes. where we are inspiring and enriching thoughts.
Hi everyone, thank you for viewing us. So do us a favor, click that big red button down there that says subscribe. When you subscribe, it's totally free to you. Not only is it totally free, but you'll get a notification each Monday when we post new interviews, new insight, and new information. We hope you are enjoying what you're viewing thus far. Please tell your friends about us, tell your family members, your church members. Hey, find a stranger in the street, tell them about it too. We want to take this message to the world. Have a good day, and thank you for watching Alabaster Sparks.